Welcome to the Startup Funding Espresso. I'm Hall T. Martin, where we talk about how to raise funding and invest in startups and the time it takes to drink an espresso. If you have a question about startup funding or investing, please go to the website, startupfundingespresso.com, and type in your question into the chat bot in the lower right corner to receive an answer. I hope you enjoy this episode. Hello, this is Hall T. Martin with the Startup Funding Espresso, your daily shot at startup funding and investing. Grants provide seed money to startups. Consider these points in determining whether or not you should pursue a grant. Grant funds can only be used for the stated purpose in the grant proposal. If you need funds for operations, inventory, or administration tasks, then you probably should not apply for a grant. Grant funding is typically used for commercialization of the technology, validating the market, and finding initial customers and investors. Grants work best after you have some initial results with the technology and some funding raised. Grants should be used to further the business opportunity with clearly defined steps and objectives. Grants should be used to add on to the funds you are committing to the project. And grants work best when the next phase of the project is clearly defined. For example, the technology works well on the lab bench, but now needs to be proven in a prototype to show potential customers and investors. Grant funding works best when the goals of the startup and the goals of the granting organization are aligned. For example, the granting organization wants to find a cure for a disease, and the proposed technology offers a potential cure for it. Consider these points before pursuing a grant. Thank you for joining us for the Startup Funding Espresso, where we help startups and investors connect for funding. Let's go start listening to today. Hall T. Martin is the director of Investor Connect, which is a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to the education of investors for early-stage funding. All opinions expressed by Hall and podcast guests are solely their own opinions and do not reflect the opinion of Investor Connect. This podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be relied upon as a basis for investment decisions.